Hi, everybody. How are you all doing? It's nice to see you all coming in now. If you can just put in the chat where you're from, that'd be great. And if you could also help me by letting me know how you found this event, that'd be great. Whether it was Facebook, Instagram, my Ascension group, my soul family, whatever, however it was, or a friend or whatever, that'd be really great. So, thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited about this event. It's, I suppose I might say, a specialist subject of mine. I've spent probably 30 years working in this field, and I'll tell you a little bit about me in a moment. But just come in, relax, know that yes, this is a deep subject, childhood trauma. But essentially, we are working on our childhood the whole of this lifetime. So it's not that it becomes, wow, I've got to do this and then that's it. It's, oh, I've got to do this and I wonder what else is going to show up in my experience. Okay. So I'm just going to wait 2 minutes to let more people, they're all coming in. So I'm just going to let you all come in for a second. Fantastic. Gosh, it's lovely to see all over the world. It's amazing. Even Russia, I think sometimes people can't get in from Russia. So that's amazing, Tatiana, that you're here. That's amazing. Fantastic. So Wendy is very kindly letting people in, and that's amazing for me. So welcome, welcome, welcome. You're here because you feel that there is a part of you that perhaps could be standing more fully in your purest potential. And I'm known as a spiritual scientist, and that is because I blend the science and the spiritual. And I've spent, as I said earlier, about 30 years of my life, probably 25 years of it knowing that I'm a channel for spirit, but 30 years of it knowing that I love evidence and that I spent a lot of my years working in child protection, a lot of my years working with drugs and alcohol, domestic abuse, child abuse. And then I went on to work with veterans with PTSD. So I have a breadth of knowledge in working with trauma. And alongside being a channel, I'm actually a naturopath, a meta health practitioner, so working with the metaphysical causes of dis-ease, and many different other modalities such as theta healing, Rahani, all sorts of things. EFT was one of my starting places. And so there are many, many tools in my toolbox. But the combination of working scientifically with evidence balances really well with working with my guides as a channel. And so as a channel, I work with the Ascended Masters, I work with the Galactic Guides, I work with many other beings of light, and they come in the form of sometimes light language, sometimes sound healing, which is also light codes and light language in a different way. Sometimes through chat and guidance. The guides are always with me. And sometimes I get out of the way. And you may have found my 5-minute frequencies on my YouTube channel. And if you haven't found my YouTube channel, it would be amazing. Actually, Wendy might put the link there. Be amazing if you could find my YouTube channel, because every single Friday morning, there is a new video for you with a new beautiful guide coming in, giving you healing, bringing through information or some activation. So you might like that. And quite often I will go live on my YouTube as well. So just introducing that, my absolute passion is to help people heal the parts of them that stop them being the best version of themselves, and also the part of them that isn't fully aligned to their mission. So a few weeks ago, I ran another free masterclass, which you will find on my YouTube channel, which is called The Body is the Barometer for the Soul. And so if you want to know more about the messages that are held in your physical body via your soul trying to communicate with you, that might be a really good place for you to go to at some point when you feel drawn. So tonight we're not going to focus as much on dis-ease. We're more going to focus on childhood trauma. However, what I have found on my journey over many, many years is that when we experience significant trauma and shock, it often plays itself out in a physical message in our body. So who kind of feels that that might be true for them? Just put a yes or something in the chat if you feel it might be true, that the experiences we have actually do quite often determine what messages our body might give us. Okay, so it's not we're not going to talk about the physical body, but that free masterclass that I ran a few weeks ago, that gives so much detail. And the other place that you can get lots of detail about the physical body, about liver cleanses, about ascension and healing and naturopathic techniques, is on my free Facebook group, which is called Ascension and Healing. So I did a live today, a question answer, and talked about how the body was cleansing and healing. And we literally went through a liver cleanse, and some people are on it now. So Wendy, could you put the link to the Ascension and Healing? That'd be fantastic. But I am really happy to incorporate to do with the physical body as well. It's not that I'm not going to talk about it, but I do really want to focus today on, how trauma affects you and how it really stops you from living your purest potential. Okay. So before I start working with you and doing some really deep healing, I want to create a sacred space with you, which is what I do with all my work and all my groups and my clients. And then we're going to go into a meditation, okay? So that we are all on the same page. We're all grounded and connected, okay? And then I'll talk to you a little bit about trauma. And then we're going to do a process to heal childhood trauma. And this process is a process that you can do again and again and again. And this process is found in my book, which is, I'm an author of 2 books actually. And this is my book, which is a self-healing book called Awaken the Light Within Your Heart. You can buy it on Amazon and it's in all formats. I recorded it Audible as well. And it's hardback, softback, everything, PDF, Kindle, you name it. And so one of the processes that we're going to use from that book, we're going to do today, but it will be tailored. So it won't be exactly like in the book. It will be how the guides want me to do it with you. Okay. So it might be slightly different if you happen to read my book. And my second book, I've got to share it actually. And actually it's quite relevant because it's a children's book. So this is my children's book called The Guardian Wings. Whoops, where are we? I know many of you have bought this, even for yourself as an adult, which I'm so excited about. And I wrote this book because I wanted children to remember who they were and to remember that they're not on their own, that they have their guides and angels with them at all time. And it's set in a magical world. So if you feel drawn, that's also on Amazon. And I will go to the studio and record it. Nishi said, my son and I love this book. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And it was my intention, that all children remember, because imagine if we came into this world like Nishi's beautiful son and remembered that we are always protected, always loved, always looked after, and we have a really important reason why we're here, and we live in a magical world Would we have as much childhood trauma? Probably not. So that was my intention, that children remembered, and they are our next teachers, our thought leaders, and they are our next parents. So let me just take my emails off. There are many people signing up for this last minute, actually, Wendy. So you know, you might have to let people in even when I've got my eyes closed. So let me just create a sacred space with you. Creator, all that is, it is commanded that you pull, clear, cancel, and delete on all 4 levels and resolve on the history level for everyone here present and anyone who happens to listen to after. To release the waywards, watchers, entities, attachments, thought forms, anything that does not serve us, and send it to pure, unconditional love. Please create a sacred healing space for us all to release anything that no longer serves us, that stops us from shining our light out into the world, that stops us from loving ourselves, that stops us from realizing that we are pure potential and that we have a really important reason for being here. And please help us to remember that we have our guides and angels and all the light beings with us at this time, so that we may step forward onto this new earth, into our ascension, and assist in humanity at this time. And so it is. Okay, so let's just place our hands on our heart if they're not already there. And we're just going to take a really deep breath and just breathe out. And just take another deep breath and breathe out. And another deep breath and breathe out. And then the next breath, I want you to take a breath in, if this feels okay for you, and then hold for a few seconds and breathe out. And I want you to do that 2 more times in your own time. Breathe in and hold. Breathe out when you're ready, and do it again when you feel it's the right moment. Good. And I want you to imagine now, with your breath completely normal, breathing in and breathing out, I want you just to come into your heart and imagine a beautiful golden ball of light. And through each breath, I want you to imagine that that ball of light gets brighter and stronger, guides are saying, and more powerful and expanded within you, filling up every cell of your body, allowing you to feel this sense of peace and calm, and yet courage and strength. And then remembering to breathe, draw your attention to under your feet and connect with your Earth star. Just imagine a beautiful crystal star in the center of the Earth. And see that star down into, feel it being grounded into the center of the Earth. And maybe imagine some silver cords if you need to. Sometimes we need a little bit of help to feel that sense of connection to the Earth. And I'll explain about that in a moment. And then draw your energy up to your heart. And then up to the crown of your head. Remember to breathe. And above your head, way up into the sky, the stars beyond the stars, I want you to imagine a beautiful 6-pointed star that is huge. And this is your very own soul star. And it holds the frequency of love and wisdom and unity. And I want you to imagine a beautiful light coming down from your star, your soul star, all the way through you and down to your earth star. And I want you to expand that light out, almost as if you're sitting in a bubble of light. Fantastic. And so now we're actually going to invite in our guides and angels. Don't worry if you don't know who they are. So we invite because it is our free will. And so we invite them to step in and assist us and work with us today. All our teams, our councils, the ascended masters. We invite them all in as if we're sitting in this incredible auditorium. And then I want you to set your intention. So you're here for a reason. What's your intention? Just take one moment to good. And when you feel ready, you can come back. Okay. So you could be now feeling very calm, centered, feeling of that sense of peace right in this moment. I'm just going to mute everybody. Thank you. Whoops. I think Alison realised at the same time as I muted her, she was muting herself. Thanks, Alison, for realising that. Thank you. Yeah, just to feel that sense of where we are all really on the same page. So I just want to let you know that you're in really good hands. I know I explained my background and where I come from and so on, but I do want you to know that I hold a very, very safe space in all of my groups, in my membership, my soul family. If I work privately with you, it's a very safe space. And I also want you to know that whatever comes up for you this evening, I'll say this evening because it's this evening here in the UK. So, whatever comes up for you this evening on this call, then know that it is absolutely perfect for you. Okay. And so you will be surprised about what comes in when we do this work. My processes are fifth dimensional processes. What that means is we are not doing psychotherapy, even though that is my background. I trained as a psychotherapist, actually a psychodynamic psychotherapist, even more kind of like intense. And we're not doing that. You know, we're not doing psychology and psychotherapy. However, I do hold the space for you from the perspective of holding that energy so that you can heal yourself. Okay. So, what I know before we get into doing our deep work is what I know about trauma is it goes into our heart space. So, when we experience words, when we experience a shock, when we experience an unexpected dramatic event in our life, it always goes into our heart and it always goes out to our brain, and we call those the brain relays. And then it always finds itself, depending on the perception at that moment, it will find itself in our field. Okay. So we're talking about childhood trauma today. However, what I do believe is that what we experience in our childhood is a trigger for what we needed to bring in to heal. Okay. So whether you believe this or not, we have epigenetic thought, meaning we have genetics, of course, but epigenetics is our thought forms. So we bring in thought forms from our mother's mother's mother, our father's father's father, our generations. Okay. And we also bring in experiences from other timelines and other lifetimes. And that doesn't mean that we need to trawl through every single lifetime or every single epigenetic thought. We just need to see what's showing up in our experience, right? So some examples might be, and I might get you to type some in the chat, like what's showing up for you, because some people feel that they're not confident to put themselves out to the world. Some people feel that relationships are difficult for them. Some people feel that their financial situation is difficult. Some people feel that they're unlovable, they're unworthy, they're not good enough, etc. And you may have noticed at the time of holding this event, we're in the throes of the new moon. I'm an astrologer as well, and we're kind of approaching what we call an eclipse. So we're approaching an eclipse energy, which is where it pulls something out of our experience or it brings something in dramatically. And so we are experiencing quite dramatic transformation. So when we're holding on to trauma, it shows up in our experience. So what do you feel is showing up in your, we'll call it the outside experience? It's always a reflection of the inner. But what's showing up for you? Don't tell me the whole story of your life, just what's showing up for you. Is it in your money situation? Is it in your husband-wife situation? Is it in your children? Is it in your your work situation? How is it showing up? Do you just feel like you can't be seen? What is showing up for you? And let's just see if we have a theme. So with Sarah, she's saying money, relationships, confidence, getting my gifts out to the world. Absolutely. Work and relationships, multiple things. Okay. Being seen live on camera, Rosh said. Terror and fear, Jessica. Okay, relationship, money, relationship. Yeah. So lots and lots of, and health, some of you with health. Yeah. So absolutely. And all of these things that you're typing here came from a decision that you made about yourself. Okay. So when you make a decision about yourself or about the world or about love or about existence, it came from a very early experience. And this is why I don't do psychology and psychotherapy, because most of the time, that early experience has not got language. Okay. So that early experience is what we would say is fight and flight. Okay. So that fight and flight creates a shutdown. And who, not my soul family, because you know the answer to this, but who knows what might get shut down if we are experiencing that fear and that fight and flight? Who type in the, yeah, Rhonda, exactly. So Rhonda said the heart. She was the first one to say the heart. So what happens is we build up this you can imagine, like, if we could just see it visually, like a gate. Okay. So we've got this gate and we say, okay, I'm 3 years old. That happened. I can't trust in the world. Okay. I'm going to shut down. I'm going to shut the doors. Okay. So we do that because that's a really good thing to do, because our body has said this isn't safe. Okay. So our mind has said it's not safe, and our body has gone, okay, it's not safe. So what happens when we do that is we shut down a bit of our heart. Okay. So as we shut down a bit of our heart, we're also shutting down our connection and trust to our guides and to our inner guidance. Okay. So as we start to open our heart, and we're going to do that tonight, as we start to open our heart and release this trauma, we start to have a much better connection to our inner guidance, our GPS for our soul, I call it. We start to have a much better GPS. We start to feel differently about ourselves. We start to feel differently about what is showing up in the world. So we might not, I've got a great analogy where, we might go into a shop or a supermarket and we have let's say we have a heart that has experienced some fear and some shock and some trauma. And we walk into the supermarket and we feel guarded and that's fine. That's where we needed to be. It doesn't serve us now, but it's where we needed to be. And we walk in and what we see is people arguing, people worried about money, can't afford to pay for things. And then we walk in with an open heart in another door and we see children laughing, we see a couple hugging each other, and we see people in their presence. Okay. And that's the difference when you have an open heart. And that's not to say that if you've had trauma, you're not a lovely person. Okay. We've all had trauma. Okay. Why do you think I'm a trauma specialist? We go into our mission and our reason for being here because we are initially working out why. Yeah. So that's why we get guided to do this work, because we are on the healing journey ourselves. We've been on that healing journey and it continues. Okay. So if you imagine that and you think to yourself, well, I'm walking into a supermarket and I see anger, I see fights, I see this, or even on the street, somebody else won't see that if they're not in that frequency. Okay. It's the same as I don't watch the news. My mum watches the news all the time and she'll tell me about things that are happening in the world. It's not in my frequency. I don't hear it. I don't see it. Someone will tell me about a traffic jam or something that's happening. I won't notice it. I won't see the traffic jam. I won't see anything like that because it's not in my frequency. Yeah. So if you imagine, we're really talking here, and I know I'm going deep here, but we're talking about the new earth and the old earth. And the old earth is how we used to be. I'm scared of this. I feel guilty about that. I'm shameful of that. I don't know if I can survive. Right? That's all old because it's not true. We are divine beings just having a little jacket to hold our soul, to carry our soul into this beautiful experience that we're having right now. And so it's our responsibility to look at what is showing to us, what can we see in our outside world? Because that outside world, without judgment, is a reflection of our inner beliefs. Okay? Makes sense. Just think about it for a moment. And there's no judgment with anything that is happening in your outside world. Yeah? Relationships breaking down, no judgment, right? It could be that you are raising your frequency. And so the friendships that used to be a match to you are no longer a match to you. So those friendships have to leave because they don't match you. It's the same as partners. They have to be a match to you right now, because if they're not, you're not living in harmony, right? Okay. I know a lot of you have noticed that. Financially, yes, you are meant to be abundant. You are meant to be free. Okay. And as you really step into your integrity, your authenticity, your purest of who you are, that's when the doors open. And notice as I'm saying the doors open, it's the doors of your heart. But we're a work in progress, aren't we, soul family? We're a work in progress. And so it doesn't mean that everything is perfect in my life or your life. You are me and I am you, right? It doesn't mean that everything is perfect. But we do get to the place where we feel a sense of trust and peace And so when you have that sense of trust and peace, you're not thinking, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. Okay. Because you know that everything that happens is absolutely perfectly in alignment. And if something dries up, thank you for reminding me, the guides. If something dries up, the relationship, the money, your body shows something, you know that you need to take responsibility for how that makes you feel. Because however that makes you feel is your key to what that frequency is. Okay, so I'm just going to say that one more time. So when something happens, how you feel about that, whether it's in your physical body, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in your bank balance, whatever it is, how that makes you feel is a reflection of the emotion that needs fine tuning. Okay. Yeah. And it is like a domino effect. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to heal a part of that domino. Okay. So, you're going to be healing that part of you, which I'm really excited about actually, because it's really powerful. So, you're going to heal that part of you, and that's going to be like a domino effect in your life. Okay. And I really want to hear about it. So I want to hear after you've done this, I want you to contact us on, Messenger, social media, contact us. Wendy will answer emails. I don't really answer emails, but Wendy will answer emails. And we want to know. We want to know what opened up. Okay. Because this is my mission. Like my mission 100% is to watch you truly align to why you're here. I have to tell you, I actually don't feel I ever work. You know, I don't feel I work. And I'm trying to teach my children who are teenagers, nearly 17 and 15 and a half, that do what you love, because what you love is who you truly are and who you're meant to be in this world. And it doesn't matter if you change your mind. Yeah. If your heart expands and you change your mind and you want to be something else, that's okay. Right. And we're never told that as kids. It's like you have to do that, you have to get that qualification, get a job, earn the money, pay the money to the tax man. Yeah. That's what we're taught, right? That's not how the world is now. And that's not how the world is opening up. Okay. So, anything, ask me a question if you need to there, and then we're going to get into working with a particular part of you. And I really want you to have an intention for it. And I'll probably talk to a few of you afterwards, so we can feedback with a few of you afterwards. But I really want you to know that this is going to be transformative for you. And it may be that you cry, you may not. It may be that you feel the emotions within your body. You may feel an opening in your heart. You may feel a little bit of a headache. We can talk about that afterwards. Okay. That's all perfect. And it's all meant to be. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay. So as you just kind of ponder that, I'm just going to have a chat to my, oh, Scotty. Scotty's so beautiful. He said, I love being here with you all. I can do this all day. I'm truly passionate about this. Amazing. Well, Scotty, you're welcome to come into our Soul's Mission. In fact, it's a Soul's Ascension membership now. And we'd love to have people like you that absolutely love being immersed in this energy. And yeah, I hold your hand throughout the whole thing. So if you'd like to be part of our community, we would love to have you. Okay, so let me just have a chat with my guides. So you just all think about what it is that you would like to shift and transform in your life as I just have a chat with my guides. One sec. Okay, everyone okay? You got a beautiful intention of what you would like to release, what you would like to experience. And let's go on this journey. Bear with me a second. So let's reconnect into our heart space. Take a beautiful deep breath. I want to remind you that your body is safe, that you are safe, that you're held in a beautiful light here in this space, and that you are surrounded by loving beings just wanting the best for you. And they guided you to be here at this time, to be in this healing energy. So I want you to connect once again with your Earth star. Just notice it under your feet and notice your soul star. And just feel the warmth of your very own guides and angels wrapping their wings and supporting you. And I want you to just consider that area of your life and connect into the emotion that you feel when you think of that area of life that is being affected by how you feel about the trauma that you may have experienced. So connect into that emotion just for a moment. And then I want you to imagine that there was a wall in front of you now. And that wall represents that emotion. Okay, so just connect in. And you might feel that that wall is above your head and you can just see the wall and you can't see over it. Or you might see that the wall is at your eye level and you can just peek over and see what's on the other side. Or it might be lower, or it could be infinity. Whatever it is just exactly how it is right now. Without judgment, I want you to imagine, if you could imagine, what was on the other side of the wall. So just think for a second what could be on the other side of the wall if this was not in front of you, stopping you. Good. And then I want you to imagine that there is a child standing next to you now. And just notice how old that child is. They might be a little child, they might be slightly older. They may even be a baby, but just connect in with one of those children. And this is your little inner child. And this is the part of you that put up that wall to keep yourself safe. So I want you to connect with that little part of you and notice how they feel. And you may feel this in your body or your mind, or you may see clairvoyantly, but just how do they feel that that wall is in front of them? And what could they imagine is over the wall? Sometimes children imagine a playground or a palace or a fairyland or unicorns, and sometimes they can't see. So just notice whether your child can imagine what's over the wall. Good. And then I want you to notice as around your little child, there are three beautiful angels or three beings of light that are surrounding your child. And I want you to notice how your little child feels with these beings around them. Just notice how they're feeling. Remember to breathe. And then I want you to notice as one of those beings steps forward and they have this beautiful basket or container full of sparkling pure stars. And these stars are just for your little child. And I want your child to choose the star that feels like connection. And to pick that star, hold it in their hands and place it in their heart. And I want you to take a breath and feel that energy. And then I want your little child to look in the basket and find the star of unconditional love. As they connect with unconditional love, I want them to hold the star in their hands, feel that energy of unconditional love. Remember that they are love and place it in their heart. Good. And then I want them to look in the basket to find the star of joy. And just notice how it feels when they hold that star of joy. They look at it, they feel it, and then they place it in their heart, feeling a sense of joy in their heart. Maybe they forgot how to feel that sense of joy. And then I want them to find the star of peace, a beautiful star of peace and calm. And I want them to take that star of peace and calm and hold it, feel the energy of peace and place it in their heart. And take a really deep breath as you feel your own expansion in your own heart. Because this is you. This is your inner child that's been outside of you for so long, standing behind that wall. So now I want you to connect with your little child and have a look at the wall. How is the wall feeling now? Is it slightly smaller? Is it maybe slightly less tough? How does it feel? Maybe it's possible to see over it. Maybe it's gone. Everyone is different. And then I want your child to look in the basket and there is a really special star in there. And that is the star of mission. And I want your child to hold the star of mission and feel the energy of a knowing exactly what that feels like, to know why you're here, without knowing the details, but just knowing that there is a really important reason for being here. And get your child to place that star in their heart and feel that expansion. Good. And then there are some gifts in the basket. And so there is a magic wand with a star on the top. And I want your child to pick that wand and hold it in their hand. There is a crown of sovereignty that is also in that basket. And I want your child to place it on their head and feel that sense of courage and importance and strength and confidence, almost as if they're playing dress up. And then there is another gift there, and it is a beautiful cloak of protection. And one of the beings places this cloak around your child, and they let them know that nobody can see this apart from them, and of course, their guides and angels. And it is invisible, and it protects them throughout the whole of their life. So just check in with how your little child feels now, and have a look at the wall. Is the wall still there, or has it disappeared? Or is there a little bit of the wall left, maybe some rubble? Whatever is left, I want you to get your child to wave their magic wand, knowing they've got their angels and guides with them. Wave their wand and disappear the last bits of the wall, if there is any wall left. Just get them to disappear that wall. Take a deep breath. Good. And then I want you to turn to your little child. But notice what you can see over the wall now and what they can see. Just notice that for a moment. And maybe it's wonderful and magical. And then I want you to turn to your little child. Maybe you have to sit down with them. Maybe you have to bend down. Maybe you already are there. And I want you to say to them out loud, if possible, I'm so sorry that you felt you had to put up this wall to keep yourself safe. I'm so sorry that you felt that this world was not a safe place to be. I'm so sorry that you forgot you were always looked after and never on your own. I'm so sorry that you forgot you are a divine being of light, choosing to be human, and you have everything you need within you. And then I want you to check in with your little child and just notice what else they need from you. So, do they need to feel trust? Do they need to feel whatever it might be? And I want you to acknowledge that with your child. So you acknowledge it by saying, by giving them compassion and saying, I'm so sorry you felt. So just take your time for a few moments and just acknowledge your child with whatever emotions you feel. Good. And then I want you to say to your child, I will always love and accept you for who you are, whoever you choose to be in the world, and whoever you choose to be with. And then I want you to imagine that your little child was coming into your heart. So just bring them into your heart and perhaps bring the angels in and the basket full of stars. And feel that energy in your own heart. You might feel warmth, you might feel expansion. And then I want you to look at what you can see in front of you, meaning what's over the wall now, where the wall was, what is there? Just notice, is it light? Is it the sea? Is it trees? Is it flowers? Is it meadow? Whatever it is. And then I want you to say these words. I'm going to give you some words to say. And as you say them, I want you to imagine that you're walking and stepping over the threshold of where that wall used to be. And so you're stepping over it when I give you these words, and you're stepping into the new frequency of freedom. Okay? So the words are, as I let go of the past and the limiting beliefs, I step forward into the present, which creates my future. And take a really deep breath. And imagine yourself standing in that energy, perhaps with your arms out wide, feeling that feeling of expansion and freedom. And just think for a second, what is possible now? Say it from your heart. What is possible? Feel what's possible for you. Now you no longer have that wall of trauma, that perception, something that was never true about you. It was just a decision you made about yourself, which wasn't true. And then seeing yourself in that space of freedom. If you feel like twirling around, that's fine. And I want you to imagine that that picture you see in front of you, with you, with your arms out wide, the feeling of freedom and space and newness and expansion, was a beautiful color. I see golden and rainbow colors. You may see something different. Whatever color you see, I want you to imagine it like a ball of light. And I want you to bring that ball of light into the heart into your heart where you're sitting now. And expand it throughout the whole of your body. And I want you to imagine that that frequency now is out in the world. So you've let go of that old perception and you have a new frequency match out to the world. Exciting new beginnings. Stepping further into your pure potential. So stay in this presence for a few moments. Just feel into your heart. Maybe ask, what do I need to know? Listen in your heart. And in your own time, no rush, just stay there as long as you need to. When you feel ready, you can come back. How's everyone doing? I don't want to say it too loudly in case you're still in your process. How are you all doing? Good. So that's called the emotional wall process. It's one of my very, very favorite processes that's in my book. I never get tired of that process. It's always slightly different because it's channeled. But that process you can do over and over and over again, because there's always a different emotion. There's always a different experience that we can access. And shall I tell you what we're actually accessing? we're actually accessing a point when we felt disconnected to source. Thanks, Alison. That's the point when we felt disconnected. So we are never disconnected from source. We are always connected. However, when we have a shock and trauma, it's a disconnection of a feeling that we are on our own. Makes sense, right? We're on our own in that moment, and we're never on our own. So that point of disconnection or perception of disconnection, that's where we have that heart barrier or that heart wall. So the more inner work that we do, and this is the kind of work we do in the Soul Family in our membership on an ongoing basis, exciting work that we do, the more we do this, the more that we actually heal our hearts on all different levels, the more we are stepping further into our true mission of why we're here. Okay. Diane feels fabulous. That's amazing. So, would anyone like to share? Would anyone like to ask a question about it? Would anyone like to say what they came with and how they feel now? I'm really open to talk to you. And if you'd like to deep dive, if you'd like to work with me privately, you can also be one of my soul coaching clients where I work with you privately. Okay. So it's up to you what you feel drawn to do. But tell me, who would like to share their journey? Anyone? I was 5 and the wall was infinite, Charlotte. Wow. Yeah. Oh, Suzanne. So Suzanne said, hey, I was confused when I made the wall disappear with my magic wand as a child. And then I was asked to see the wall again. Not, well, not to see the wall again, but just to notice how it felt. Yeah. After the child wished it away, it wasn't there anymore. Okay. So you didn't need to see it again. That's why you got lost, because it wasn't there. It's okay, Suzanne, no problem. You can, it's definitely a process you can find in my book, and you can find it on Audible with my voice, so I can take you through it. Okay, I'm just seeing there's so many here. So Marcy's saying beyond the wall was freedom and the ability of walking. Oh, Marcy, that is amazing. Do you want to share that? I remember when I was speaking at a conference, I'm going to say this because it's just come to me and you've just reminded me. Um, I I was a keynote speaker at a conference. It was actually the European Energy Conference many years ago. And I did that process. And there was a lady, I didn't know her then. There was a lady in the audience, and I did that process. And she came up to me afterwards and she said to me, thank you so much for that process. She said, I saw myself healthy and well. She'd just been diagnosed with cancer. And she saw herself on the other side of the wall, healthy, well, fit, dancing. And that to me, like that conference, that's what that conference was about, nothing else. What I remember from speaking at that conference was that lady. And I'm still in touch with her, and she's very healthy and very well, right? So it's amazing. So I love it that you, Marcy, I love it that you could see yourself walking. And I really, truly believe, I've done this work for a long time. I watch people heal themselves of disease all the time, and I watch people transform all the time. Okay. And I truly believe that we can change and heal anything. So, Diane, You're very welcome. 3 years old for me, powerful process of love, expansion, being seen, and the gift of freedom to play. Amazing. Oh, I knew she fell asleep for a couple of minutes. That happens, Wendy's just said. It happens to a lot of people. It just means you were just taken somewhere else, which is amazing. So if you would like to work on a deeper level in our soul family and our soul's mission membership, we work with, you name it, everything. We're in a series at the moment, which you can actually purchase if you want to on my website, stepping into our multidimensional self. And last week we did the money. And from that one, oh my goodness, people were having winning things. They were getting paid out from people that hadn't paid them, and they all of a sudden got paid. They got extra money coming in. I got a lovely date, which I'm very excited about. First date in a long time, which was exciting. And people got all these amazing things from working with the frequency of money, which is not about money, it's about love, right? And then we were and this week, our next one that we're doing rather is about the mission, and the one we did before that was about the body. So stepping into the multi-dimensional self of the body, which was fantastic. So you can definitely get those retreats if you would like to, if you feel drawn to do the replays of those. Oh, so this is amazing. What's this about the basket? So Alison said, I feel fantastic. Everything I took out of the basket was a different shape. The first thing was wings. And I put, oh, amazing. And you put the wings straight on. Oh, I love it when people get different gifts. So Joshua said, when I saw the wall, it began to rain and it was dissolved the wall as we danced in the rain. Oh, I love that. After the rain ended, gardens and trees grew where the wall was. Wow. I've never had that, Joshua. That's so gorgeous to hear you talk about that. That's amazing. So if you came with something in specific that was a serious trauma for you, how do you feel about it now? Yeah. So if you think about, maybe something happened to you when you were younger and you remember it, and how do you feel about it now? So there is just type in the chat and I'll acknowledge you. So there is a process in my book, Awaken the Light Within Your Heart, and it is called Time Traveling and Healing Hearts. And this is where, if you've had a particular conversation or a particular accident or a particular trauma that you see and it loops and you constantly see it, it's a really, really, really good process to do. Okay. Either I can take you through it one to one, or you can do it yourself from the book. But that's a really, really good one if you've got a looping process of something that you remember. Okay. Sometimes people remember conversations that are, you know, um, oh, I remember that when I was 5 years old and someone said that to me, it might be at school or something, and it loops and loops and loops. And of course, it takes up real estate in your brain. What else was I going to say? Yeah, so these processes were born from working with veterans, and what I love about what I loved about working with veterans is they'd done it. They'd spoken to psychiatrists. They'd taken the drugs. They'd, suffered from not going outside because they were so scared. They, gunshot, all that sort of stuff. And the processes allowed them to not have to tell me anything. So they are processes where you access points that you don't know about. And that's what I really loved about them. And now, of course, they've evolved over the years and they're at a place where they're on a really high frequency. Hence why I'm excited to see what happens after you over the next couple of hours and over the next few days. So, Sarah, thank you. Yeah. Love, connection, and health. Beautiful. And that's reminded me you may, and it's possible, have a feeling of heat. You may feel cold. You may feel a bit queasy. Sometimes people do. It's called a healing peak. You may have a bit of a headache. You may not. You may feel that you feel like an ache or a pain, and this is all fantastic, right? Taylor, yeah, I'll talk about that in a moment, my love. Yeah, absolutely. Um, so Linley said I got very cold, I had to get a blanket. Yeah, exactly. Right. So when we are shifting, when we're shifting our energy, thank you. Yes, the guides are this is Ashtar actually reminding us that we've shifted our frequency. So we may feel a little bit like, ooh, okay, a little spaced out, being told that. They're laughing, not about you, but about the spaced out bit. Is that we actually do feel like that sometimes, and it's because we've shifted our frequency. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with you ever. Okay. Why would so Taylor's asked a question, why would the replays be really good for us? Well, for the retreats we're talking about, right? So the replays are equally the same as powerful as being live. There is no difference. It is energy. Okay. So the work that you're doing on the replays is exactly the same frequency as if you're actually there. Hence why people on my channeling class can't always make it to the live. They do the replay and they feel exactly the same about the content of the channeling that we do and the course and the homework and all of that. And it's the same with our soul family, because I'm in the UK, most of you are in the States, some are all over the place. And so some people can't make it live to come on our private call or our retreats. And that's okay, because in the portal, we have this beautiful portal where Wendy uploads everything to the portal, and you can just dip in and go and do the work there in your own time. Okay. So it makes no difference whether you're live or not. Absolutely. I love being with you live, but you don't have to be. Oh yeah, if you join the Soul Family, every single retreat and astrology event, and also all the extras that I add into the portal by being a member. There's loads of free stuff. There's a money, a cosmic money ordering in there, which you can either buy on my website or you get as you're a member. And so everything's in the membership portal. So as soon as you join the membership, you get the codes, you're in the portal, and you can do all of them. We did a really beautiful Akashic series, last series. So this series is stepping into the galactic portals, but we did an Akashic series, which was really powerful. So yeah, absolutely. There's loads and loads of content on there. And if I go on any shows or interviews, anything that I am, working with, I give it free to my members. So if I do a package, my members get it free. And you also get to work with me at a really discounted price privately if you're a member. Not if you're not a member, but if you are a member, you absolutely do. And Roshni, thank you for reminding me. I have the Galactic Crystal Healing Chambers. Roshni, Wendy put the link there. And these are remote galactic crystal healing chambers that you can step into. The universal love one you can buy for anyone as a gift and yourself, but all the rest, there's animals, children, money, relationships, divine complement, mission, joy, freedom, loads, and you can step into them for as long as you want, and finish them for as long as you want. So that's good. Oh, the Alison, the membership is 111 a month. So it's 111. I think Wendy will put the link there for you. Yeah. And I haven't put my prices up in my membership for 4 years, and I intend to keep them the same. And I actually haven't put my retreats up. I haven't put my astrology events up. I keep them all really affordable for people. Okay. Okay. Oh, Scotty, I do feel like heaviness was lifted from this morning, away, clear, exciting. My head and vision confusion feel clearer. Thank you, Susan, and everyone here. Amazing. Yeah, we're in this container. So, yeah, I'm facilitating, of course, but you're all, you are me and I am you. So there is a vibrational match here for you to be here and for me to be here with you. Okay. So there is a frequency match here. And I'm excited to see, imagine you've got your suitcase on the floor, you open your suitcase, you tip it out, you sort out all of the clothes, the socks, the shoes, everything, and you put back everything really neatly. That to me is a symbolism of when you go on this journey of healing yourself. You have more space in your suitcase, you have more space to love people, you have more space to serve, and there's even more space. Because if you imagine if your suitcase is full, there's no room to put any new stuff in there to travel. You've got everyone else's stuff in there as well, right? Or your parents or your grandparents or your, growing up as a child. And imagine it like your mind. I speak to people sometimes and they say, I keep forgetting, I can't remember. Well, if your head is so full of stuff and old stuff, I call it like bikes and pots and pans that are in the shed or the garage, there's no room for anything else to go in there. And that's why people, thank you, why people feel, this is Mother Mary, feel overwhelmed, because right from the point of growing in the womb, she's saying, and the point of, being born, our birthing experience, sometimes we've chosen to experience walls, okay, so we can remember who we are. And it might be time for you to truly step into that power. And if you feel drawn to work with me, then I'd love to have you. It'll be amazing. So Diana said, shame for me has been a blessing. See, because it shows how shame was put in me by my parents. It was just too overwhelming to experience it all at the time, but it was cluing me in how much it's been there for me, and it's been healed out as I look at it rationally. Not as my enraged, controlling parents put on me because of their own issues. That is beautiful. I get that. And I'll just kind of rephrase it. So what Diane is saying is that the way that perhaps she experienced her childhood and the frequency and the emotion of shame that she felt has actually really taken her on her journey of understanding who she is. And not to say, like, it was good or it was an easy experience for her, but she's basically saying, oh, actually, I get it. That's where they were. That's what they gave me as an experience. And I grew as an incredible person because of that. And I bet you, Diana, I bet you can see in people when they are experiencing real suffering, because you experienced it. I bet you can see that in people big time. Yeah. And it's the same as like when we hold contracts. So we come into this world and we've decided to hold particular contracts. Let me just get some water. I will remind that. The guides are reminding me about my Ascension and Healing Free group that I have. So if you want to step into that, Wendy might put the link there if she can find it. Yeah, so basically, if we hold contracts, we've all had them. Like we've held these contracts in the Akashics, and we've chosen to come with a contract. Say we've got a contract of shame, for example. Then perhaps we've experienced experiences of shame in this lifetime and previous times, so that we can help others. But once we clear the contract, and we do that a lot in our work, once we've cleared that contract, you no longer need to experience that, but you can still see it in another. That makes sense. Yeah. So you might have a contract of fear or a contract of guilt or whatever it might be. But once you clear that contract from your frequency, you can still see it in another, but you don't experience it in yourself. Okay. Yes, so I started a brand new group, a free group, and it's called Ascension and Healing. And it's where, because of being a naturopath and somebody who works with the body as well, I decided that it was a really good time for us all to do a liver cleanse. The liver is the planner of the body. The liver holds many different emotions, and the liver is responsible for everything. And the liver replaces its cells, probably quicker than this now, but every 6 weeks. It's the only organ of the body that completely heals itself within 6 weeks. So every cell in your liver can be replaced in 6 weeks. So we hold anger there, we hold resentment, we hold guilt, shame, all of that stuff. And so when we have anything going on in our body, it's really good to cleanse our liver. And so we've been going through a liver cleanse, and I've taken everyone through it. I've done mine, and many people are on it now. And I support you. Oh, thanks, Alison. Oh, Alison's joined. It's private, so you have to join, and then I have to accept you, which of course I will. But it's not public, so it's not like everyone can see what you're talking about, and everyone can see my lives or anything. It's all private for you guys. And we had an hour's live today where I did a question answer, which I'll continue to do. And we work very much with the energies of, you know, what the body's showing. And I'm a naturopath, so I talked about naturopathic techniques today, and how you can, you know, really support your body on this journey, because ascension is showing up all of the stuff that we don't need anymore. So our body is talking to us through our soul. So our soul is going, listen, 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 and our body is going, listen to me, listen to me. Okay, so the soul is going, yeah, you need to be aligned to this, you need to let go of that belief, and your body's going, here you go. I think Wendy's looking for it. You're looking for it, Wendy? Yeah, she's just looking for it, Scotty. So okay, so Pamela, yeah. So oh yeah, I did, Pamela. It's on there. It's on there. The live is on the group. Yeah, you absolutely can watch it. So Pamela said, I have hardly any childhood memories, which makes me believe I have I have blocked many of them. So yes, and we do that. But when we do these fifth dimensional processes, we are actually accessing parts that we didn't know. Okay. So we don't need to go through the trauma. We don't need to do psychotherapy. We don't need to do any of that. We can actually access that first point we felt disconnected. Oh, thanks, Linley. Linley's enjoying it. Oh, so Suzanne, yes. Can I ask a quick question? In this group of like-minded souls, oh, I can answer this. Yes. What can an itchy rash all over the body mean spiritually? It means you're healing. Wendy knows this. You're healing separation. This is one of my favorite questions. Thank you for this. So, the skin is the cortex part of the brain. It is responsible for separation. When you have cortex is responsible for separation. So when you have an itchy skin, that means you have healed a perception of separation, usually to mother or source. Okay. So she's saying it's a reaction to a caterpillar in oak trees, I think. I've been scratching for 5 days now. I wonder what the deeper meaning could be. There you go. So, Suzanne, have you got your video on? She has, I can see her. Okay, so when I said that to you, and then I just read what's the deeper meaning, and you're a bit, yeah, there's the deeper meaning. Okay, so we just had a new moon. We're coming up to the eclipse. We're in this place, new moon in Virgo, all about the details. So what we're doing is we are refining, depending on where Virgo is in your chart, we're refining that area of our life. So it could be that you've made acceptance of an area of your life, a feeling of I'm not separated anymore. Perhaps I've made peace with something, and that could happen overnight, right? But then we're told by the medical model, and you know, I love doctors and so on, but we're told by the medical model that we have to get rid of it. Okay, and really, what we need to do is honor it and say, wow, my clever body, thank you so much. And then if it continues, we know that we've got a deeper place to go to. And I always find if I've worked with children with eczema, I always work with the mother with the birth trauma or pregnancy trauma, and then it heals the baby's eczema. That amazing? Yeah. So the baby's playing out, I'm not separated, I'm not separated. Yeah, so cool. I love that. That question's just, I love that question. What else? Oh, thanks, Rosh. Everyone, thank you. Link is above for Ascension Healing Group. Yep. Lower back pain. I see it always. This is, I honestly think part of my bigger mission is to help people understand why their body is showing a message 100%. So, Marcy, lower back pain. You've made an acceptance that you are supported. Okay. Now, if this continues, then you know that there is an earlier part of you that felt that you were not supported. And this often comes up financially or in your relationships. Okay. You're not supported. But what it actually means is you didn't feel supported by God, source, the universe, right? I'm not religious, but I'll use that word because we've had many lifetimes where we have been in religious orders, etc. Right? So it often comes from that. There's also other reasons for lower back pain when you go on a deeper spiritual level, but that is really the one mainly. Oh, Rhonda. Oh, I love this. Right. So, Rhonda, what is the meaning of droning, humming sound in my left ear? So the question would be, when did that start? Because if it started after you've done some deep healing, that would tell me that there was an opening for clairaudience, meaning an opening to your guides speaking to you in a clearer way. But I don't know when you had that. So perhaps you can, 2 weeks ago. Okay. So what was going on 2 weeks ago? Right. So feet and ankles. Well, ankles are often about guilt, mother guilt, and feet, depending on the issue with the feet, will depend on what it's about. But if you have any pain in your feet, then think about how do you feel grounded in this earth? Do you feel that you can really stand on this earth? Thank you. Stand on your 2 feet. Can you stand on your 2 feet? Is what I'm hearing. So think about that. Do I need someone else to hold me up? Is what I'm hearing. Okay. Does it make sense to you that you might have, the person who asked about feet and ankles, does it make sense to you that there may have been, or there may be a codependency with your mother? Just anyway, the guys are just saying that, so I'm just going to give it to you. Does that make sense, love? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what the guides are telling me for you. So just that's your work. That's your work. Okay. That healing work. So there's been a lot of stuff today and yesterday because there's loads of stuff here. I'm just not I can't answer all of these, but so there's so many bones questions here. So basically, if we're thinking about the bones and the muscles, we're thinking about our self-worth. Okay. So we're thinking about how much do we value ourselves. And so when we get a pain, especially after doing some healing in a bone or muscle, then I know that there has been an acceptance that's happened there. Okay. I am worthy. I do feel valued. Okay. So if that happens after we've done this work, then know that that is a really good thing. And if it continues, know that there is an earlier part of you that actually I won't do notes right now, Tina, but because I can't do private notes with people, but you're welcome to leave a note there if you want to. Yeah. So essentially, it will just mean that there's an earlier part of you that felt a feeling of not being valued. Okay. And remember, we bring a lot of this in with us, which is why I love these processes, because we don't know half the time what things are. We have no idea. We made a decision, we shut it down, we said, no, this is what I feel about the world. This is what I feel about people. This is what I feel about myself. And that's why we do this opening. Yeah. So I think and feel I'm just going to ask the guys if there's anything else they want to say. Yes. Okay. So if you choose the soul family, if you choose, they're saying the soul family, there's also a private support group, which I forgot to mention, and they're showing me it, that you could be part of. And actually, I would say if you're in my soul family, just type in the chat how supportive you find that, because that to me, oh, Pragati um, that to me is one of the really key things, is that sometimes we feel alone on our journey, on our spiritual journey. And Laurie's saying extremely supportive, yeah. And that we feel like we haven't got that person that we can share something weird with, right? So we can't talk about something that's happening in our body because everyone believes that there's something wrong with us or something like that, or we can't talk about something that's happened in our relationship or our family because we don't want to talk about those things with other people. But in the soul family, I will share like my deepest, stuff, and everyone will share. So there's no kind of like hierarchy. There's no kind of anyone's better than anyone else. It's just such a beautiful, loving space. So if you feel like that is something that you've been kind of longing for, then it might be time. Thanks, Bugatti. The soul family are very supportive. It's a very safe space to air anything we all have. Yeah, absolutely. Amazing, amazing. Um, so yeah, I'm just thinking, so join the Ascension Healing free group if you want to. Sign up to my newsletter, definitely, because that's where you get to know about these free events, but you also get to see everything that we're doing or offering. Don't forget to sign up to YouTube, because I'm growing it. I created YouTube for free for healing for people out in the world. Um, Support me with my books if you feel drawn. Buy them for gifts if you want to. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Our retreats, our astrology events. So the members get those. That's their part of their thing. But we also sometimes do offer them for you to purchase if you want them. This new moon, Archangel Michael came through and channeled. So channeled a healing as well as did the astrology. So that was really fun. Yes, Ascension Free Group is on Facebook, but it's private. Okay. So you just need to find it, and you've got all the links there. Any other questions? You're so welcome. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Remember to use that process for any emotion. So you can, if you felt fear today and you feel something else another day, use that process. You can find it in my book. And absolutely, come on our next free event. Okay. So much love to everybody. Wendy, thank you for holding space. I'm going to say goodbye, but it was really lovely to be here with you. And thank you so much for, honoring your time and spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. Oh, I've just done something weird. Bear with me a second. That's better. Oh, I'm trying to close it. It's gone weird. I think they don't want me to turn this off, actually. I'm going to turn it off now. Much love.